we're back. It's the Brazil Expat Journal, that BEJ entry. Oh, yeah. I'm so relaxed on this Monday, Pete. I don't know why. Mondays suck, but I'm just feeling relaxed. It's nice and chilly in Sao Paulo. It's starting to get chilly, right, Pete? How's your house?
Well, it was weird. I was watching the temperature monitor today, and like when I had to work really early in the morning. So yeah, it was like 18 degrees. I mean, 18 degrees in British Columbia, that's like a spring afternoon, right? So not so
Yes.
bad, but I'm still in shorts and t-shirts mode. I haven't changed from shorts and t-shirts. So it was a little chilly for shorts and t-shirts. But then over the course of the day, it got up to like 28, and I was feeling it. And now it's back down to 18 again. So yeah, it's definitely summer is over feelings.
Yeah, and the ups and downs with the weather is what fucks with my head a little bit because you never know what to expect, you know? Like one day it's like the morning starts really hot and then it gets really cold and then it really screws up with just your lungs get screwed up. I've been dealing with that at least for like the last week and a half. And I think Pete, a little bit that contributed to that is that I'm traveling a little bit more. Like I'm trying to make it a point to like visit one Brazilian city in the countryside a month because of that whole blah blah deal. I'm kind of getting back into that, and it's not that expensive. Just go in, go out, eat somewhere, and you're gonna spend pretty much the same amount that you would to just go to like a club on Paulista. I mean, you're not leaving your house these days and not spending at least 50 to 100 reais, and you can do one of these little city trips for that. I mean, maybe you'll spend an extra 20 or something because you eat at a nicer restaurant in the city. But when you do that, Pete, you get that real clean air, and then you come back to São Paulo and you get this air. And I don't know, you can hear it. I'm all stuffed up. But anyway, tonight, guys, we're going to get a little paranormal because I like that, and we're going to talk two events that have happened here in Brazil that are really part of the popular culture. So when you come down here, if you don't know about these things, you might miss out on a lot of the cultural references and the jokes and everything, especially with the Varginha ET. That was like one of the first things people kept talking about with me when I came down to Brazil. I was like, what the heck are they talking about? Varginha. It sounded something very vaginal at first. I was like, what is going on? And then I read up on the story, and it's really intriguing. It's considered the Brazilian Roswell, but of course, it has its own Brazilian flavor, and it's still in the news even till today. It's really part of popular culture. In fact, those of you that are fans of the show here know that I'm a huge fan of Art Bell, and that's really one of the pieces of why I'm into talk radio. I'm into talk radio for a lot of reasons, but he's a big one. And he used to talk about all these paranormal things in the evening, and he used to talk Roswell and everything. And he had a contributor named Linda Moulton Howe, who I actually got to see in Philadelphia. She's from Philly, and she used to talk a lot about crop circles. And she'd call in, and she got an Emmy actually for a documentary called "In Unearthly Harvest," something like that, that talked about cattle mutilation, which to this day is like the freakiest thing out of all these like paranormal things because it's just freaky. I mean, you can kind of explain everything else away, like dreams, and you think you saw something, but like those dead cows that you see on those farms is really freaky. And so she actually had a big show about this. They had a huge conference in the U.S. about the Varginha incident. So it kind of got back into my radar, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys a little bit of this piece of Brazilian history. And also, just recently, I was watching a Netflix show called Radioactive Emergency, and it talks about a wait. Let me put it up because I thought I had it up here, but it talks about this accident that happened in Goiás with some radioactive material. It's called Celsia. How do you pronounce that, Pete? Celsia 137. I can never pronounce it right. Um, but yeah, it ended up hurting, killing a lot of people. This was in 1987, so we'll get into that. But I really recommend this uh, it's not a documentary. It's an actual TV show. It's a dramatization of the events, but it's really well made. You know, I haven't finished it yet, and I intend to because it was really nice. I just got really busy. But here's some screenshots from it because I can't show you the trailer for obvious reasons. So I recommend watching that. So we'll talk a little bit about this incident that happened in Goiás and maybe even some other interesting factoids about nuclear power down here in Brazil and also some other oddities here in Brazil. So it's gonna it kind of be a packed night, but we're gonna try to move fast because I am kind of tired and my head is still stuffy. Um, but yeah, Varginha incident. Have you heard of the Varginha incident at all, Pete? Have you any clue what I'm talking about?
I think I may have heard of it from you, like
Of
previously, but
course.
yeah, but other than that, no.
I know I'm Pete's gateway to all the weird shit down here in Brazil. In fact, Pete, when you and I had made a non-gay date to go on a ghost tour, I got to figure out how to go on that again because there's a São Paulo ghost tour go downtown, and I really want to do it because there's some freaky stories. Excuse me, downtown São Paulo. Especially, I used to be friends with this lady who was a police officer, and she worked at the federal police building in downtown São Paulo, not the one in Lapa, or maybe it's not federal police, but anyway, it's a headquarter down there. And she used to talk about like one of the floors was haunted and things would be moving around. And she's like, "Man, one day I got to sit down and tell you all the crazy stories about working late night in the police department downtown." Seb, and also I heard, well, again, like guys, do I believe this stuff? The real answer is no, but the answer I prefer to say is why not? You know, it's fun. Um, is that so many people have killed themselves jumping off the bridge down there, Viaduto do Chá, which is on top of Anhangabaú. Give me a second, Pete.
Yeah, yeah, I know the
There you
bridge you're
go.
talking about. It's the
Yeah,
one with no
apparently,
traffic.
yes, and apparently that's a popular jump off point for people trying to suicide themselves. Guys, you're gonna have to deal with me, kind of coughing my way through the show a little bit. But anyway, um, so apparently there's a lot of spiritual activity down there and a lot of woo woo stuff. So we will. So Brazil's full of that stuff, and Brazil's a very superstitious country. So a lot of this stuff shows up. So let's start with this. This is from 1996. Excuse me. And that's when these two sisters and their friend they spotted what they said is this little oily brown skin, large red eye creature that had these three bumps, these horns. It's about 1.5 meters tall and kind of looks like this. Let me share this. Ooh, Pete, you're gonna have to help me out because I'm dying over here, guys. Kind of looks like this. He was crouched down. Like that hairdo though. And I mean, it could have also just been this guy late at night. I don't know. Um, and they ran off. But the thing is that what made the story continue is that on the same day there was a lot of military movement around this area. So that's what kind of was it coincidence or was it them trying to get a body, whatever it is. But witnesses around reported unusual military and fire department activity. So quickly, these rumors spread that there was one or more creatures either on the loose or captured. In fact, I think we shared it here on the show, Pete. There's a video game
Hmm.
actually you can play, the Varginha video game, right? So you have these. Actually, yeah, I forgot we did a show on like the 10 folklore type stuff down here in Brazil. So check
Yeah,
that show out, and we talked
that's
a little bit
where I've
about it.
heard this before.
Yeah, so we're just gonna deep dive into it a little bit more because this story is kind of wild. So then the military went in, and these rumors spread that this creature was around, and then there's these trucks, personnel allegedly moving something out of the area, and that's where really we get the weird sightings with the possible cover up because one guy said it was like a submarine. There's always something that's not making sense, and later in the following days the story continues. There's these hospital rumors. Okay, these stories emerged that a local hospital received an unusual creature. Okay. And by the way, here's a picture. I'm not sure if I'm sharing. Let me go back here of the girls. Where is it? I had separated that. These are the girls that found the alien or sighted the alien. Okay. So yeah, apparently they believe that the alien was captured by the military. There's all this movement in the hospitals, and people are saying that they see these weird creatures in there, these kind of, uh, kind of lanky things, walking around. And again, you're just getting into conspiracy. But then the plot thickens, Pete. The plot thickens because you think it's over, but there's more. That's when you get the soldier story. There's this military policeman, and I got a picture of this guy here. He died too, which makes it even creepier. There he is, right there. Um, so this officer, his name is Marco Eli Shariz, was said to have handled one of the creatures, and he later died from an infection. So there you go. That's when the story, plot thickens, and there's more to it, which is why it's lasted as long as it has. Of course, you need a good little bit of circumstantial evidence there for these conspiracies to really survive. Now, there's no confirmed link that his infection was caused by the alien, but like perfect timing, right? You got the stuff going on in the hospital, and then later on, this is what, January 1996, and that's the thing, Pete. When I had first found out about this story, because like I mean, I kind of had heard it in passing because it's almost like a joke. The ET de Virginia is gonna get you, the ET of Virginia, and I'll show you some pictures later. That they have like whole monuments set up. They have like a whole like heliport and everything for this ET. Um, but I always figured it was something like from way back, like before there was TV, before, so people are just kind of telling these stories. But this is actually from 1996.
Right.
So,
So it coincides with the X Files, basically.
funnily enough, I wonder if the X Files was big down here in Brazil. Oh, it was kind of a global phenomenon, so maybe interesting. Um, yeah, so the nickname appears, the ET of Virginia. At this point, it's no longer just local; it is popular culture. Like that's why I'm saying, if you want to kind of understand a little bit of Brazilian culture, you got to know a little bit of the ET of Virginia because and that's what I like about Pete when I talk about the paranormal stuff in Brazil versus in the US, because like those Roswell people are like hardcore. They're like, tell them it was like, just walk up to one and say it was a weather balloon. Like they'll punch you in the mouth just for saying that. But here it's like there's this light feel to it. Like you'll see the picture. Oh, you saw it in the thumbnail. Like, where's my thumbnail? Right? It's like they have little monuments set up, and he's cute, and he's like just a pet. It's hello. In this one that you see in the thumbnail is this little monument that they built for the ET of Virginia. So it's cuter down here. Although I get it that in the States too, they have kind of those little tourist trappy souvenir places, but even then it's all capitalist and this and that. And here it's just like, yeah, we got a little alien walking around. Um, so there's no confirmed link that this military guy actually died because of the alien, but it just made the story grow. And thank you, people that are tuning in. We're getting weird tonight. So if you got weird Brazilian stories, tell me, because I've got a few down here, guys. Some weird stuff that I can't explain, and I'm not saying like I'm saying that personally happened to me. So it was a weird place. Um, so weeks after, there's these reports of UFOs, right? So additional sightings, claims of strange lights. Okay, so for me, Pete, it sounds like mass hysteria, but it's wonderful. It's like the story grows, like never stop. Okay, so what's the official response today? To this is that authorities deny any extraterrestrial involvement. Some people believe that it was like a homeless dude just walking around, like we saw in that one picture, like at night. Uh, uh, they should come downtown Sao Paulo. There's a bunch of Varginha ETs down here. And actually, that is kind of a joke too. Like when somebody calls you an ET of Virginia, they're kind of saying like you're kind of fucked up. Uh, and then you get the panic, but there's no real single explanation that serves everybody, obviously. But it does have a lasting legacy. It's one of the most famous, if not the most famous, UFO incident in Latin America and in the world. I think when you get into UFO circles, and I have been in UFO circles. I still am. In fact, there's a Telegram group that I'm part of that's just called UFOs, and it's just these people filming stuff around Brazil. So I'm into that stuff. Like it's unexplained. I'll go this far as to say that I don't know what it is because I think we've gotten to the point where we can say it's unidentified. It's definitely nothing like Earth tech, especially like up in the US and Congress. They're like, that's some weird stuff, but it's a leap to then say, well, it's aliens. It's weird. Okay. So I'm into that stuff, and I've seen some weird stuff in the sky myself. Um, but yeah, I think within these circles, I think the two major stories are Roswell and then the Varginha ET, and I'm glad that it's kind of being taken seriously in the especially in the U.S. UFO circles, because down here, it's kind of tongue in cheek. Like there's people that actually believe it, but it's very tongue in cheek. And recently, this doctor came out, and here's a little bit about him, Pete. Where is he? But he was a doctor in. Oh, there you go. So he's a doctor that had hidden this story about this supposed creature that was in a hospital, and he didn't even tell his family. And he's like, "I know what I saw. It's this guy right here." And he
You're not
said he
sharing
saw a
anything.
creature
You're
that had.
still on the main
Oh,
screen.
there you go. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So there we go. See, I'm just getting at a global here. This is not going to load, but I'm glad it's not because, you know, copyright. But yeah, he said that he saw a creature in the hospital, and I saw an interview with him, and apparently he said he's a renowned doctor. That's the thing, always with these stories, they're not just going to find anybody. You got a military guy, you get this doctor who's a renowned doctor whose credibility could really suffer if he's out going around acting like Mulder and saying, "Hey, I believe." So and he's credible in the sense of like he doesn't stutter. Like he's like, yeah, I walked into the room like I was just doing an operation on a little kid. It was, man, the way he describes it's like it was a routine operation. I just kind of had to split him in the middle, and then it was delicate but not difficult. So he's like, boom, I split the kid in the middle, and then I was sewing him up, and then I walked out, and I thought it was another kid with this disease that now I can't recall the name, but it's this disease that caused a bit of like uh, your body gets all twisted and stuff, deformed, like some type of body deformation. So he kind of passed by this room like quickly, and he saw this creature in there that he said is very white. So that's the first thing that he says that's different. It's not brown like people describe it. He said it was very white, and maybe it's because it was dark when they saw it. Who knows? And he had those eyes. The rest is like it's described there, minus the color. Instead of having a little antenna, it's almost got like these corn rolls, things going back. And at first, he thought it was just another kid with this disease, but then he doubled back and he walked in, and he said that the creature was very calm. It just looked at him, and that's his story. It's kind of bizarre. I don't get it. But he claims that he saw this creature, and then he was able to look into his eyes and see that it had no prejudice. He's like, it's not like us that we see black, white, and all these things. He just saw me. I was like, what? Anyway, but that's his story. Um, that's Pete's story after a night out in Zona Leste too. So, and possibly my story too, a few times. But let's see, we got some folks in here. We got Travelmatic. We back for more Brazil. Oh, definitely, guys. I'm enjoying doing these Brazil Expat journals so much. It's tough to keep it constant, but we're doing the best we can. And I want to thank Pete for hanging in here with me. And we're really trying to make this channel grow and this podcast grow. So I'm glad everybody is tuning in. What's up, Anthony McGrew? It's all true. Let me ask, the boys out there or anybody else that's listening, if you have any story to tell, please feel free because I've seen some weird stuff in Brazil. Have you seen any weird stuff in Brazil, Pete, other than like the crackheads?
No, no. I mean, like the reality-based stuff is like far weirder than any supernatural stuff you can
I
imagine
agree
here.
with that. I agree with
Um,
that sense.
to be honest, like if I experienced any supernatural phenomenon, I would probably not even notice it because it wouldn't be as strange as most of the reality-based stuff.
I agree. It's tough to tell the two apart. That is for sure. And sometimes you're just so drunk here. I mean, I had a period when I first came to Brazil, and anybody that's from the US will understand how the US is extremely puritanical when it comes to drinking. Like if you drink on a Wednesday, you're an alcoholic already. In Brazil, you start drinking on a Monday. Um, and I just couldn't handle my liquor, my guys. I mean, I could handle it to the sense like I never got into fights or acted stupid or anything, but like I was out every weekend just like getting sloshed until it came a point where I was just like, okay, I gotta stop or I'm gonna end up some weird person's house chopped up in little pieces. Because
Yeah.
when I'm drunk, I'm very free. I'm not like I don't want to get into fights. I'm just like very fearless, and I go here and I'm like, man, some places I shouldn't be going. So when you're in those states, I mean, you see so many things. Like sometimes I look back at my life here in Brazil, and it feels like I lived like 20 lives, you know. And I was just reminded of that. In fact, I do want to give a rest in peace to a dude named Alderson, you know, who we had a little something, something way back in the day, but we lost touch. But he was always a nice guy, and it's like it's when I thought back to it, he just passed away. He was like 36 or something. Like he was young,
Jesus.
right? 36 to 38, I forgot. Um, and I'm like, and I could see, like, you know, when you know somebody's just kind of like they just fell off, like that was him. Like there was a period where I was like, all right, he's always doing stuff, he's writing, he's doing this, and then something happened. I don't know what it was, but you could just tell like he just fell off. And you kind of want to help people like that, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, not my problem. Like I got enough of my own, so I was just always kind of step back, you know, but always kind of there. And I kind of helped him once try to get a job here, get a job there. But then there's type of people that are like, "Hey, do you have a dollar? Do you have a dollar?" Like one of those types. And I was like, "Oh man!" So I kind of cut him off. But I never, and but it's still sad. I mean, even though we hadn't talked in
Yeah,
like
of course.
3 4 years, because we did have like about a year or two that we were very close. And then even after that, it's just somebody that I rooted for. I'm always like, yeah, man, you can do it, you can do it. But ooh, there you go. Everybody's coughing.
Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
Sorry.
Uh, we got Anthony McGrew here. He said, "Yes, it's my second sighting was here on my upstairs deck in 2015." All right, Anthony, we might put you on in a little bit. Let me just finish here. Actually, I think I am done. So, if you want to hop in real quick, we can't stay on all night. But if you want to tell this story, Anthony, just click on the link I'm about to send in the chat. Okay, and we'll put you right on. You don't have to turn on your camera or anything. Just click on the link and you will be on the air with us because I want to hear this story. That sounds pretty amazing. And if anybody's listening on Instagram, you're probably just hearing me talk, but Pete's here. I'm going to try to figure out a way where we can get everybody's voice here. It's just that it's loud, guys, when it comes out the speaker, and I'm not the only one in the house. So I try to
Yeah.
keep it on
You
my
know,
headphone.
the weirdest experience I've had in Brazil, like not talking
Yes.
paranormal or anything,
Hmm.
is I was here right where I am now, sleeping in my bed in my
Oh.
apartment. As you know,
Mhm.
my apartment is over 3 bars. And these two chicks from the bar under my apartment decided to walk into my building, walk
Oh.
up to my room, and use my bathroom like it was the fucking
Yeah.
blue. And like I I still like I'm not even sure if that happened, but I remember it happening and I remember it being really weird. And the weirdest thing is they spoke English because I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And they were like, came right back at me like, "You speak English?" I was like,
That is
"Okay,
bizarre.
this is more strange than any fucking alien sightings."
I agree. There was so many really I mean, yeah, I could go on and on. We've already gone on and on a few nights on like just weird stuff. I mean, I had a samurai sword pulled out on me in the metro. Oh, Anthony's on. Let me get you on. Anthony, turn off your camera if you want, because let me see how you look here. If you don't want somebody, unless you square that camera then or something. Oh, there you go. That's better. What's up, Anthony? Anthony's on, guys. Friend to the show, friend to me. Love him. He's gonna tell us some
Hello.
weird stuff. There he is.
Eh,
Can you hear me?
We can hear
yeah.
you. Go ahead. The
Okay.
floor is yours. Floor is yours. Tell us your story.
Well, now, one night I was up on my deck and I saw. this round vehicle up in the sky with rotating lights going around and around and around.
Wait, this is where?
This was upstairs on my deck.
Oh,
You
upstairs
know
in your
my
deck. So
deck.
this is 2015.
Yeah.
You look it up and let us, let's paint a picture, to
It
a little
was
bit. So,
probably, it was close. It was probably, oh, let's say,
but
maybe
how
about
big was this?
500 feet in the
And
air.
how big would you say that this
It
thing
was
was?
big as my house.
What? And did you see it come from afar? Or did it just like appear? Because I know sometimes people just see it. It just,
I,
but
it just, I went up there
yeah,
and, having a cocktail. You know how I do.
I
And
know.
it was just there. And I was watching it. I called my friend who lives out of Lord de Freitas, Carmon, who passed away. But
Yeah.
anyway, I was told, I said, you have no idea what I'm looking at. So I was trying to film it. And it lasted really for a long time, like about 20 fucking minutes, man.
But were you able to film it at all?
I filmed it, but when I looked at the video, it was all black. Nothing.
Oh my lord. Ain't that something, Peter? It's always something with the
It's
camera.
always something. So anyway, the next morning, I got the phone number of our local news station, Channel
Oh, cool.
11, which I watched,
Yes.
and I asked them if anybody report anything, and nobody reported anything.
That is crazy. But did other people report seeing something?
No, nobody reported saying anything, and I just. It was around 11:30 at night, which, my neighborhood is very quiet at that time.
Yeah, I see.
Uh,
And
uh,
what was the sensation like? Were you afraid? Were you
Well,
at peace?
this was my second sighting. I saw one in California in Berkeley.
Okay. And how was that?
Now, that was almost the same goddamn crap. I don't know if these motherfuckers are following me around or
Hey,
whatever.
you're a good
I'm
looking
like,
dude.
I am 15,000 miles away from California. So,
Wow.
but it was the same type. Now, however, that night, I was living in Alameda, California, driving home from work, and it was right over the Interstate 80, between Berkeley and San Francisco. When I got home, I called KTVU News, and they said, yes, people did see something like that
Oh, there you
over
go.
the Albany and Berkeley area.
Yeah, in the U.S. they don't play.
So
There's like a whole
I was not alone. As a matter
MUFON,
of fact,
the
I
UFO
had,
network. Yeah.
yeah, as a matter of fact, as I was seeing it, driving, I had a Pontiac Firebird at that time that had push button windows. And I rolled my passenger window down and talked to the person that was next to me as we were driving. I said, do you see that? Do you see that? Yeah, yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it was seen.
Now let me tell you,
I have to really like Google it, trying to remember the year. It was around, I would say
91,
before my
92.
son was born. My
Oh,
youngest son. So I would say it was probably like 1979.
oh wow. Way back when. Oh
Seven,
yeah, you said it was like
yeah,
30 years.
yeah, yeah,
That's crazy. All right, so you've been visited, okay?
yeah, yeah. So
Twice.
who was the only one that I was not the only one that saw that one. And the lights were going around,
Yeah, well, because
and
it's
they had
weird when
different colors. It was like green and then red, and I think maybe yellow. They were just like circling and circling and circling. I
yeah,
couldn't really see what the craft was made out of, or even the color of it. I don't know if it was gray or whatever, but I couldn't see that.
I feel you. Yeah, it's a weird thing when you see something strange in the sky. And again, guys, I mean, there are strange things in the sky. Whether you believe it's aliens or not is a whole nother topic. Sometimes it's like a natural
Yeah, well,
phenomenon.
there's a
Sometimes it'll be
billion freaking satellites out there as
yeah,
well.
there's satellites, but some of this stuff, Pete, you know why we feel different? Because I've seen something. That's what I was going to tell Anthony. Like you feel like a whack job when you're telling the story until you tell it. And I'm going to tell you, Anthony, something that's very similar happened to me. Uh, but it's like it's so low in the sky, Pete. That's why it makes you go like, that's not a satellite. It's not you're not seeing something like
Right.
way out in the stars. It's like you can almost reach out your hand and you're like, oh shit, I can touch it. So when you see something like that, it's freaky. For me, Anthony, I had a weird sight and I had a couple, but the one that stuck with me the most was right after 9/11, and I remember it clearly because like there was no air traffic, like they shut down air traffic, and it was so weird to look up at the sky and see no planes. Like you don't notice that until it's not there. You're like, oh shit, there's nothing. It's kind of beautiful. Actually, during COVID there was a little bit of that action happening too. But I was driving home from work because I used to do a late night talk radio show. I told you I'm obsessed with talk radio, which was Raleigh James. And I was her call screener slash producer. So she would be done at 1, and I'd be driving home listening to Art Bell, late night radio. There you go. You're getting Phil's backstory here. I was what, 17, 18? And I looked, I'm just driving down. I think I was on the White Horse Pike, whatever, almost home down in Jersey. And it's nothing. I was just marveling at the sky. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen the sky so clear. It's so beautiful. And then Anthony, boom, this light appeared. It was like, it was far. So at first I was like, okay, that's like a star. But it was like airplane close, not super far. And then I was like, okay, that's weird. But then it like kind of uh, kind of streak to the right, and then again, like my rational brain, oh, shooting star, but then it stopped, and then it kind of did a left thing, and I was like, oh, that's freaky, man. And then Anthony, there was a trucker right next to me, and it was so funny because my eyes started watering. For me, it was a freaky experience. So when I get really nervous, I will start either to shake or my eyes will start to water. So it felt like they were burning, and I got scared because I was like, oh shit, I can barely see the road. I was like, my eyes were literally like somebody poured salt in them. So I leaned down. I was in the driver's seat. So I leaned down as far as I could to see if I could see the truck driver next to me because he's up higher, and I couldn't. And I was kind of like trying to be like, "Did you see that?" Just like Anthony was, but I couldn't see him. I couldn't get his attention. So then I came back up because I was in danger of driving off the road, and then that's what I did. I just like it was such an emotional experience seeing something like that. Pete, I know if you've never seen it, it sounds like me and Anthony are a bunch of nutcases. But if you see something that it's hard to explain. You just know that it's different. Like how you just know. Well, remember back in the day, there was that politician that was trying to cover up like the statue of Daniel because it's all pornography, it's nudity. And it's like what what politician said something about like when you see porn, you just know it's porn. Like you don't need an explanation between like, okay, this is a nude artistic photo and this is porn. You just know, no. That's how it feels when you see something weird like that because you're like, yeah, it could be just like some weird gas thing that the atmosphere did, but that shit was wild. It's emotional.
Yeah, but no, no, no. I mean, and I have no reason to make this shit up. I didn't really tell anybody about that first event for a while. You know, uh,
It's a little embarrassing.
well, yeah, that it's not. It's only embarrassing when you start to tell someone. You can look at them and say, "Oh shit, put the crack pipe down." You
Exactly.
know,
Yes, it definitely gives off crack pipe vibes, but you're like, okay. And then you get back to reality, and then I don't know, stuff like that changes you a little bit. I've had a few experiences in my life, even stuff with like out of body experiences and stuff like that, that just makes me go, what the hell? Like I try not to question it too much. I just kind of go with it. Um, as long as you're on, Pete and Anthony, I'm gonna ask you a few questions here. I'm gonna ask, and then see if you can answer. See if you can answer. Um, look, Brazil has a famously dangerous island, and what makes it so risky? Anybody know?
Nope.
uh, I've
Does it
never,
have to do?
I've
Look,
never.
give you three options. Is it toxic leaks, thousands of venomous snakes, or military experiments?
I would say military experiments.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well.
It's the snakes, guys. So we're just gonna go down a
Oh,
list of a few kind of weird stuff, weird things here in Brazil, and or unique things. And this is called Ilha da Queimada Grande, Snake Island. It's packed with golden lancehead vipers. You know, it's a restricted area. Go on YouTube. There's a few cool little documentaries about that right there. Okay, next. In 1970, the Brazilian government launched Operation Prato. What were they investigating? Secret tunnels, UFO sightings, or pirate radio stations?
UFO
I'll
sighting.
go with UFOs.
Yeah, that was the UFO sightings, which I think the US even has cited this report. But yeah, it's a military
Well, it's
document of strange
interesting
light.
that where almost everywhere in the world, when a
Yeah.
UFO has been sighted, crashed, or anything like that, the U.S. government always comes in and snatches up everything.
I know. I
It takes
know.
it back over to there's several locations in the U.S. Not Area 51. There's another location as well. They take that too. Those bodies that were found in Brazil, the United States came and got them.
All right. I don't know about it, but man, I'm willing to
I
believe
watched,
anything at
I
this point. I'm
watched
willing
that
to believe anything at this
documentary.
point.
I watched that documentary on I think it's Varginha.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, the Varginha. Yeah.
Right,
No,
right,
watch
right. I
you gotta
watched
watch
that documentary.
you gotta watch that cool little documentary. All right. I got another question here. The Boto. The Boto legend is about an animal that transforms into what? A priest, a human man, or a bird? We talked about this one, Pete. Let's see if Pete's memory.
Uh,
Yeah,
I think a human man.
Is it a man, Pete?
yeah, no, I think it is.
Yes, and there's a lot of legends in the Amazon when a woman gets pregnant, and maybe she doesn't want to say how. She says it's the Boto did it. All right, here we go. Moving along, guys. Explorers search in Brazil's interior were often looking for what legendary place, and we also talked about this one on that show. What were they looking for? These Indiana Jones type explorers.
Well, what are our choices?
Oh, I'm sorry. A lost city of gold, a frozen kingdom, or a hidden ocean?
I think it's a lost city of gold. They made a whole
Me
movie
too.
about that shit.
Me
Yeah,
too.
the lost city of Z, El Dorado. That's if you go all the way out
Yes,
west.
yes. Fucking Werner Herzog made a great movie about that called
Actually, I gotta watch
Aguirre, The
that.
Wrath of God.
All right, send that to me later, Pete, because I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh,
Basically, like
oh,
the
before I
Peruvian
forget,
natives.
Phil, send me that Telegram group that you belong to.
Oh, with the UFOs, sure, for sure. I'll see if I can
Yeah.
put it here in the comments somehow after we're off. But it's really fun. Uh, actually, yeah, the ufology here in Brazil. It's like super nerd level. I love it. I almost went to a city called Nova Iguaçu in Rio de Janeiro by myself when I was like just here for like 6 months because they had a UFO conference. And then this lady was like, dude, you don't want to go there by yourself. Not 6 months in. And then when I found out about the city later, I was like, yeah, okay, maybe she was right. Anyway, the famous lead masks case. Two men were found dead wearing what? And I think I want to do a show about this one, Pete. In the famous lead mask case, two men were found dead wearing what? Diving helmets, metal masks, gas masks. Oh, that was just three. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was gas mask, wasn't it?
What do you think?
I haven't heard about that, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one I have heard of, but I
yeah,
don't remember the specifics.
yeah. It's a metal mask found in
Metal mask.
1966 with strange notes. Yeah, I want to do a show on that, man. I kind of like going unsolved mysteries on the BJ every once in a while, guys. Because Brazil is so much more than just like the top five restaurants and the top five cities. I mean, I like those shows too, and I love to interview guests. And we're hopefully going to get a really nice guest on very soon. Uh,
Now.
but
What's your thoughts on the
but I,
13
but I,
scientists being killed or missing recently from NASA and other
ah,
places?
that's what I'm saying. What's going on? There's a few weird things going on. People are trying to hide the truth. I'm glad the X Files is coming back. Me and Eduardo have been watching the X Files. We're on season 6, and yeah, it feels like it could be written today. Uh, and so could The Sopranos, by the way. I've been watching that again. In Brazilian folklore, the lobisomem is what kind of creature? What is the lobisomem? Is it a vampire, a werewolf, or a demon bird?
I think it's a demon bird.
Pete says
I
demon
don't
bird.
know. But I would think a werewolf.
Yeah, it's the werewolf. It's the
Uh,
famous Brazilian werewolf. It's a little bit different than the American one. We talked about that on that show too, on the folklore
well,
show.
there's no American werewolf. The American werewolf is adapted from European folklore.
Yes, yes, you're right. I think in the US we have the what is it called? The not skin crawlers, the skin something. That's the Native American version of the werewolf. It's a skin something. There's even a movie about it. It's and actually there's
And
a whole
there's an X Files episode as well.
yeah, what is it? Oh, now I'm curious. I gotta Google this. What is it called? American Werewolf name skin something. Let's see. Let's see. They are called. Oh, I don't know. It's not helping me. It helped me
You're
find the
just
movie
getting references to the
to the
movie. Yeah.
movie. Yes, but I think it's a skinwalker. That's what it is. Because there's a skinwalker ranch. See, it came to me. Yeah, Skinwalker is a harmful witch from Navajo folklore capable of shapeshifting into possessing or disguising themselves as an animal, such as a wolf, coyote, or bear. That's really freaky. That's, I think, even freakier than the European version.
Yeah.
But yes,
There's actually a movie about that as well,
yes, that's
starring
what I'm saying.
Albert Finney. Wolfen. Wolfen, that's called.
Wolfen, I think I've seen. But anyway, here we go. Look, no, I don't want to ask that question. That's a boring question. Okay, here we go. This is an easy one. The legend of the Cobra Grande refers to what? A giant snake, a mountain spirit, or a hidden city?
I have to say a giant snake.
Mountain spirit.
No, come on. Cobra Grande, man. Big snake. Uh,
Oh, cook. Oh,
there's a
okay.
lot of big snakes in Brazil. We're talking the slithery type. And in the Amazon, I remember this kind of brought back flashbacks from when I was little here in Brazil. And it's different than like just like having a python or an anaconda. It's just this legend of this really big snake, almost like like in the Jungle Book, like she just wraps around the whole tree, kind of big snake. So that shit used to freak me out. Now this is
Yeah,
bringing
you
back
see those
memories.
things in Thailand, man, but not cobras, pythons,
Mm,
like 20 meters long, man.
it is
Wow.
freaky. Oh, okay. Which place in Brazil is known for crystals, mysticism, and UFO believers?
I think that's in Minas Gerais somewhere.
Wait, but
No.
let me give you some.
The choices, yeah,
Yeah, let me
we
give you
need to
some
hear the
choices because this
choices.
one's harder. So we got Alto Paraíso de Goiás, Manaus, or Porto Alegre.
I'm
Huh.
going to say Porto Alegre just because the weirdest people in Brazil I've ever met probably came from Porto Alegre.
Porto Alegre is a odd place, and you are right about that. There are some odd folk from there, but I love them. And what do you think, Anthony? Is it Alto do Paraíso of
I
Goiás,
would say
Manaus?
Porto Alegre.
And you both would be wrong. It's Alto Paraíso de Goiás, which really, I mean, when you think of weird places, I go
Goiás.
there.
Wow.
I
Uh,
go Goiás before Porto Alegre, guys, because Goiás they have like a whole other UFO story down there. They have the UFO airport. It's where they have like the hot springs and the mountains. That's the road to El Dorado. There's a lot of geographic stuff going on. So like when I think weird stuff, I think a lot over there. And this is where they have these famous spiritual communities and energy fields and alien theories. And like, I don't know, that's a hotbed for like hippies and stuff like that. They're in Minas. If you go up to Minas, there's a lot of, what do you call it? Hippie communities. All right. Mysterious glowing lights reported in rural Brazil are often linked to what? Natural gases, satellites, or fireflies?
Fireflies.
No.
None of the above. The
No.
UFO.
No, you know what it is? It's natural gases or folklores. Uh, and there is an area. By the way, is it Anthony? Are you? I think you're breathing right into that microphone, man. There you go. Take a little step back. Thank you. Which
Okay.
region? Yeah, because it's making this big noise. Like it sounds like you're rubbing the
That's not
microphone.
my
Sounds like
fan.
an sounds like an infant's heartbeat, actually.
Yes, it's like this. So I don't know what's rubbing
It's
up
probably my
against your microphone.
fan. My fan is on. Maybe my fan.
I don't know, but something's like rubbing right across your microphone. But which region is believed to have a cosmic energy vortex down here in Brazil? Is it Chapada dos Veadeiros, Rio de Janeiro, or Salvador?
Salvador.
I'm gonna go with the first one just because I've never heard of it, and I don't
And
see
it is.
Salvador or Rio de Janeiro having those kind of vibes.
I agree. I mean, they're magical places, but not for that. And it's Chapada dos Veadeiros, which Pete, it's almost like this Grand Canyon type area, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not messing that up. But it's supposedly okay. Now it's stopped. Whatever was going on with Anthony stopped right now. So whatever you did, keep
I
doing it.
just
And
moved the phone over. That's all.
that then don't move it again. But
Okay.
yes, Chapada dos Veadeiros is just this really gorgeous area. Look at this, Pete. You're gonna be marveled. And we don't use that word marveled a lot, but this is indeed marvelous. So you will marvel. And there it is. Look at this beautiful, beautiful place. So I gotta get there someday. So it's the Brazilian version of like the kind of Grand Canyon, and a lot of hot springs, and it's supposedly this area. Look at this, man. These geological
Yeah,
shit there.
you're
It's
sharing
not
the title
showing up.
page.
I'm
It's not
sharing
showing
what?
up.
Oh,
It's
The
not
there you
title
showing
go.
up.
page.
Oh shit, there you go. This is what I want to do. I want to remove that, and now do that. And how about that? Thank you, boys. There you go. Now you
Okay.
shall be marveled. Although
Hmm.
you could have marveled at my thumbnail too. It's okay, but
Okay,
yes.
now I see
So
it.
you see it, So it's this area here that's almost like the Grand Canyon of Brazil, uh, and it's just an area that's known for a lot of cosmic energy. Look at that. Look at the color of this water, Pete. The areas in there, I bet you don't even have access to because it's probably got stuff that's like millions of years old. It just got to be like
Wow.
preserved. Yes. So yeah, a lot of people go there to this area just to just enjoy it, and a lot of stuff with mysticism. Let's move along, guys, because we do want to end soon, and I want to do give a shout out to that little radiation story. But what is? Oh, no, no, I'm gonna skip that one. Why Snake Island? Worm was here. Oh, some Brazilian legends describe vampire-like beings that do what? Drink blood, drain energy, or control dreams.
Control dream.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go with Control Dreams as well.
No, these are the energy suckers. And my mom used to scare the crap out of me with this too when I was little. Guys, guys, there's such a blurry line, and exactly like Pete was saying, like sometimes the reality is weirder than fiction here. There's such a blurred line between reality and fiction. And I have a clear memory as a child of my mother putting garlic and silver keys under my pillow every night to protect me from energy vampires and werewolves. And she took that shit seriously. And it's like you just kind of like you live in a fantasy down here, but it's also very real because people take it seriously. So I think even if you don't believe in the mystical side of Brazil or understand it, I think it's always nice to like kind of learn about it a little bit so you can understand how people relate to it. You know, it's a very Star Trek thing to do, you know, like so you're not crossing wires because people actually lead their lives sometimes here based on these things. Like you may or may not get a client based on your astrological sign. And I'm not joking. At one time I got feedback from somebody that I love. But when she told me the feedback, the first thing she asked is like, "What's your astrological sign?" Which I was like, "What?" And then I said it, and she's like, she lifted her hand in the air. It's like, "Ah, now I understand why you get along with all the students. You're a this," and then I was like, "What is happening here?" But I just accepted it. You know, I still have that job till this day, so they like me. So it's like you got to know a little bit about this if you come down here, if you really want to understand the culture. Music is part of the culture, but the mystic is also part of this culture so much. Um, what has been discovered in caves in Brazil, Peter and Anthony? Alien technology, ancient human remains, and art or lost treasure ships?
Art and lost treasure ships.
Me too.
Actually, it's ancient human remains and art. Okay. Uh, they have some cave drawings down here, and that's something interesting too about how old is old here in Brazil because we do have all these theories of like I guess it's
But
like a
have they
hundred
found like
thousand.
actual body parts?
Uh, I'm not sure
Like
about that. Yeah, I think
like
they
I
have.
bones
think
and
I
shit?
I
remember
think
on
they
a
have.
YouTube thing. I think there were skeleton remains.
I think
Hmm.
they have. Oh, look at that! Gringo La Shopper. Let me just say hi here. Uh, Gringo Shop is listening on Instagram. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out a way to do this. Because I got to put the phone in a place that's convenient for me. Uh, but hello, Gringo La Shop, uh, who's listening in. And guys, there's been bones found, and these bones have kind of made archaeologists go back further than they thought we should go as far as how long people have been occupying the west. Anyway, in Peruibe, a city that I love, what strange phenomenon has been reported repeatedly reported by locals and visitors? By the way, Justin.
And the choices are
And the choices are UFO sightings and mysterious lights, time travel zones, and invisible animals.
UFO sightings.
I might lean towards time travel.
Time travel zones, and I bet there is because Peruibe is a weird place, man. But it's UFO sightings, and that's why I want to get back to that city. You get a weird vibe there. It's a cool weird vibe, kind of hippie vibe, and there's these beautiful mountains, and behind the mountains, they say that there's these alien bases and stuff like that. So who knows? And we got just two more here. Maybe just oh no. Some legends in Brazil talk about what is hidden beneath the rainforest.
So
And
Is it underground cities, giant crystals, or secret oceans?
secret oceans.
Is it
I would
Atlantis?
lean towards that myself.
No, it is underground cities. Yeah, and actually,
Mm.
there's this whole what's that? Graham Norton did this whole documentary about because he's got this whole ancient civilizations theory, and he's like one silver lining of all this deforestation is now we can see what's under the trees, and there's some weird stuff like under those trees, So he goes off on his whole like major cities existed here, before some cataclysm. Anyway, what happened to explorer Percy Fawcett in 1925? Did he find a lost city in Brazil? Did he disappear, or did he return back famous to England? I believe.
Disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah, disappeared.
yeah, and that's the lost city of Z. Thank you guys for playing. But anyway, guys. we're gonna finish up real quick because I do want to give a shout out to this movie that I was watching, which is Radioactive Emergency, and it talks about this incident that happened in Guyana. Again, talking about Guyana. And by the way, shout out to Pedro. I don't know what happened to him. We were supposed to meet on Saturday, but then he went out to Susano, but I don't know if he came back, and I don't know. Hope he's okay, because he's a great dude. But he's from Goiás, and Guyana is a city in Goiás. And in 1987, they discovered some radium there, Celsium 137. And what happened is they left some medical equipment behind. Like there was this old abandoned place, and there's these guys that collect scrap metal, and they saw this huge ass medical machine. So they're like, ching ching, we're gonna make a lot of money off of this. Just that carelessly they left like the it's like for x-rays and stuff, so they left the stuff that has all the radium and stuff in the machine. So they open up the machine and it's beautiful, it's like blue, it's sparkly. So the one dude like puts his finger on it, he's like, man, I'm gonna take it home to make like a ring for my wife. And before you know it, people start throwing up. It starts spreading through the community because people rub it on their skin because it's glittery. And again, I mean, nobody would imagine this. So it's not like, oh, dumb Brazilians. Like, this is 1987. We didn't have a lot of information about something this specific. It's one thing when like Chernobyl blows up. It's another thing. It's like, yeah, radiation can also be found in sparkly, beautiful things. So these are all victims of some carelessness by the part of this company that left that medical equipment behind. So there was a 6-year-old girl who passed away. She plays with the glowing powder, uh, eats food with contaminated hands, and she becomes the most famous victim. And then there's people that have these first symptoms of burns, vomiting, weakening, everything. And finally, they step in September 29th, 1987. That's when the government uh, does its thing, does a whole cleanup of the place. There's 4 deaths that were confirmed. Okay. The key people there are Devair Alves Ferreira. He opened the capsule unknowingly and spread the contamination. Leiji was the symbol of the tragedy. Her case shocked the country because she was just a little girl. And local doctors and physicians who were kind of just confused at first. They're like, what's going on? Again, because it's like the last thing you would think is like, why would Brazil have an issue with like nuclear or radiation or anything like that, which I think is why it took a little bit longer than it should have for people to like take care of stuff, because I don't think people even realize what it was. So if you look that up in Encyclopedia Britannica, they have a little thing on it. And I actually, Pete, this is weird, but I don't get any credit for it, but I did do a translation of a movie about this, a short film for this festival here. I'm sharing a bunch of screens here, but this is the screen I want to share. So if anybody gets a chance to see any of these flicks here, it's the Uranium Festival, and it's all films that talk about, just the effects of uranium in the country. And I did the English subs for one of these films, and I learned a lot, including the fact that there's victims of radiation that came to Brazil from Nagasaki and all that stuff, and then they have a whole community. I forgot their names is Habukashis. I forgot now. Sorry, I totally mispronounced that. So there's this whole community here. There's this whole taking care of uh, radiation community down here in Brazil that you wouldn't expect. And also, Pete, I'm pretty sure we have like a nuclear radiation dump site in Interlagos. I gotta look that up. But we also have 2 nuclear plants here in Angra. Okay, Angra 1 and Angra 2. And
Oh,
Angra
that's good to
3,
hear.
We
yeah,
do. I didn't know that. Brazil has some nuclear
yes,
plants.
of course, yes. Uh, Here.
I wonder why the U.S. has not told Brazil don't be doing shit. That's interesting.
Here we go.
I'm 100% pro nuclear power, man.
Yeah,
100%.
I know, but there you go. There's the two nuclear power plants there, Angra 1 and Angra 2. But the other one, in Angra is an island, I believe, right? In near Rio de Janeiro, Angra dos Reis. Let me double check that. Angra dos Reis. There it is. Yeah, that's the island there. It's a very famous holiday resort getaway place. But anyway, here I think this is the capsule here that they found.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
And
the thing is, like, a lot of this material is
yes,
used in X-rays,
exactly.
and
That's what it was.
it's
Yeah.
it's used in X-rays for construction as well. And
Okay.
construction's a huge business in Brazil. So if you're looking for the origins of where that came from, it probably has something to do with construction X-rays.
No, I believe it was medical. It was medical. This one because they even have the
Okay.
scenes with the guys. They call. They call like I say, hey, how many of these little canisters did you do this? The guy had to go into his backlog and this and that and the third. And it was like, oh my God, they forgot to take one of the ones home, And it's like, yeah, that was a mess. Actually, let me look that up. Like, what was the company? Let me find that out so I'm not just talking out my ass here. One second. What was the company that had medical equipment? Goya's accident. Let's see. I hope I asked that question right. The equipment involved the Goiás came from Instituto Goiano de Radioterapia. So the
Ah, yeah.
Goiana Radiotherapy Institute. It was a private radiotherapy clinic in Guyana. They used a machine containing cesium 137 for cancer treatment. The clinic closed and moved locations in the 1980s. What was the problem? The radioactive machine was left behind in the abandoned building. No proper removal, disposal, or security. And the building
Oops.
was partially demolished and unsecured. Scrap collectors found the equipment and removed it. This led directly to the Guyana radiation accident. And yeah, that's the short version. That's the ChatGPT version of that. Uh, but again, it's just more stuff that you like. Anthony was like, "Oh my God, Brazil has nuclear power plants." Like, yeah, Brazil's very pro clean energy. The only problem with Brazil is that the country is
Yeah.
so disorganized. Like they just steal and they're like having carnival when they should be building more nuclear. Like the third one hasn't been. It's been being built. It's been being built. There you go. Since the 80s, you know, and it's like when are they? So that's the problem. It's like it's almost like remember back in the day, Pete, when like the pre-salt was like the talk of the town. Pre-salt, pre-salt, pre-salt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like whatever came of that, right?
Right.
So it's like you almost kind of just go whatever, when you're in Brazil and just like enjoy the samba along with everybody else. But that said, there are some serious people down here if you want to get into solar energy, especially solar energy. In fact, I work with a lady who she works exclusively with that, in the cultural center downtown, Clube do Bem. She works with solar energy. Uh,
Yeah,
so,
I'm going to be getting that in a couple months. All of
oh,
my
great.
neighbors, I mean, up and down my street, everybody is putting plaques on their house.
Yeah, no, it's very popular here. You do have a lot of people here that are at least willing to live off the grid a little bit, and I think see that, and that's where Brazil is like this real dichotomy. It's like the bipolar country, because they're not doing this sometimes I feel, Anthony, for like the goodness of the environment, because Brazilians are really bad with taking care of the environment. It's like they litter everywhere. It's
Really.
like really bad.
You
But
still burn trash.
Brazilians,
People still burn trash.
yes, but I think Brazilians also just want to get away from like the government and how many taxes they pay. So it's like this very kind of centric way of actually being good for the environment, because if you're solar, you don't have to depend on the electric company that always fails. If you can get your house to go at least partially hydro, if you live near a river or something, that's one less, water bill you got to pay. So it's almost for Brazilians kind of not even realizing they're being libertarian that some of this stuff happens, but they still got to take care of the environment better, man. I give Brazilians a zero. No, I won't give them a zero, but it's bad the way that they,
It's
they
really
don't care
bad.
about.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
It's a beautiful country.
Brazilians always complain about other Brazilians, not
Yes.
just us foreigners, about just trash, man. Every single Monday after the weekend, all of our beaches have to be cleaned up. They come there, they drink their beer, they leave it on the beach, they have a cottage, they leave all the shit on the sand and walk away. Every single weekend.
It's very disrespectful. And the same here when you're in the Brazilian beaches. It's really, really just a mess, like people like I told you guys I went on that vacation to that city, Guapi, Ilha Comprida. What I like about it is that it's clean. But even there, because I guess it was during the January, like the vacation time, so there were more tourists. Like you see people litter. It's like, how could you litter like a street that has nothing, not even a cigarette butt on it? Like I couldn't have the heart. I don't have the heart even to litter just when it's already dirty. But I don't know. I'm being all high and mighty right now, but it's just because it upsets me. It's like one thing about Brazil that I'm like, yo, don't you see what you have? Like, I would be, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
not quite as
guys,
bad as China.
not as bad as China, you say?
No, no. I mean, it depends on the city you're in, but in provincial China, like it is generally understood that when you take that wrapper off your ice cream bar, it gets
Uh-huh.
discarded on the ground and somebody's going to clean it up or the
Oh, I
rain is
see.
going to wash it away.
Yeah, I don't know. It just sometimes what it feels, Pete, that people just like it's almost like I was talking about before with you just kind of take for granted that there's always going to be airplanes in the air. And when they're not there, you're like, oh, okay, that's
Hmm.
weird. It's so I think for Brazil, it's just like nature's just there. So it's like I don't know if it's respected as much as people like us that I mean I grew up in very naturally areas, if that exists naturally, but nothing compares to what you see here in Brazil in just intensity, because it's tropical down here. Even as far down as Sao Paulo, you still get tropical. So it's not just regular green, it's like really green, and it's like the ants aren't they're kind of big, and the cockroaches run at you, and it's like everything's kind of extra, but it's the ugly, the beautiful, the everything. So it's really you're like, wow, you just get astounded by the beauty of the place. And then it's just kind of sad when you realize, oh, people don't realize how good they got it, especially like where we live. Where the neighborhood where Pete and I live. Pete, you go down where we sound like old men, but that's because we are grumpy old men. But it's like back where the metro is, the Butantan Metro. Man, it's one little building after another. Like that used to be all little kitchenettes, little houses, little corner shops. I used to live like right on that first block. It's unrecognizable now. It's like, woof, progress.
I know. They even got rid of that like cool little plaza they had there right before the bridge. Totally tore it down.
Oh yeah, now it became like a walking path or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
They kept the whorehouse though. They always said that.
Yeah.
They did. Was it called Secrets or something? I don't know. But that's it, guys. I think that's enough for tonight. Watch
Okay.
this.
I'm good.
Yeah, watch this not documentary. What is it? It'd be like it's a mini series. I think it's 4 episodes. I gotta still watch the rest, but they did a very good job. I watched like an episode and a half of dramatizing the whole ordeal. It's very well produced, and I think it's called Radioactive Emergency. Just came out, and yeah, leave any weird stories you got in the comments. I want to do another, paranormal episode. I always enjoy those, or just weird tidbits. Like this helmet story I never heard of before. But anyway, guys, it's time for me to go. Here's my
All
outro
right.
music.
Cheers. Thanks, Anthony.
See you guys. Until next time, like, subscribe. Boa noite.